All right, so next we will delve into the book to see, what we can discover in terms of what this book is about. So let's see what's inside. So there's a table of contents. So the list includes the acknowledgements, Sere Mehabuni, introduction, Abelura Ragule, uh, um, Amuri, the pronunciation, and so on. So there is the Garifuna alphabet. So we know how letters are pronounced, what the letters are called in Garifuna. So if you notice, there's no J, there's no Z, there's no Q in the Garifuna alphabet, and you can see how the letters are pronounced. For example, A is Garunati, E is Gayumati. Well, most of them are just adding like an A after the letter. For example, B is Ba, H is Ha. But then the special ones like E and I and O and U, which are like the vowels, they have their own, special name. Like O is Gararati and so on. And, there's this part here to explain how the vowels are pronounced or used in Garifuna. On this side, it has the pronunciation, Amuri. So it has, in Garifuna, these are the vowels, and then the consonants, and how they're pronounced in Garifuna. And in Spanish and the English word, that helps you to know how to pronounce the letters once you see them in Garifuna. And this book has different tenses, and it shows you how to say those different tenses, like the infinitive part of speech or tense, infinitive, me behati, like future is ani te giwa, ani te giwa, and so on. And he gives example of how these verbs will be shown in the book and why they're conjugated the way they are. For example, he gives the word adimaraha, which meaning to speak, in Espanol, hablar, the root word, the Garifuna word, the Spanish word, And then it tells you in different tenses, you know, in Garifuna how that word is conjugated. So for Ademaraha, in the imperative, Ademarahaba, in present, when you say Ademaraha is speak, I speak, Ademarahatina, you speak, Ademarahatibu, he or she speaks, Ademarahati or Hatu, we speak, Ademarahatiwa, you plural speak, Ademarahatu, they speak, Ademarahatitia. And it shows you how, you know, the structural note on the same, you know, conjugation and the references that he used to be able to conjugate these different verbs. All right, so let's proceed. So for example, let's look at one of the verbs that are conjugated. So as you can see on each page, you know, it shows you the verb in the different, you know, tenses. So for the word benira, which is to bless, in Espanol benicer. So in the indicative present, for beniwa, bless, for blessing, beni runi or bini. So indicative present is obuyenti. Then it shows you in English, in present tense, how to conjugate that verb. It shows you in the indicative preteric how to pronounce that word, and how to conjugate that word. It shows you in indicative future. So I will bless is nabi niruba. You will bless bibi niruba. He or she will bless wabi niruba. You will bless habi niruba. They will bless habi niruba. And it has it in, you know, perfect tense, perfect past, in perfect past. Let's look at that. I had blessed Abina Radina Dinaha Abinira Dinaha. You had blessed Abinira Di Bodha. He or she had blessed Abinira Viha. Zoom in a little bit. We had blessed Abinara Diwaha. You had blessed Abiniraha Doha. They had blessed Abinira Yaha, and so on. And then it continues to conjugate in different in different tenses, including past continuous, future continuous, and so on. So very detailed book. So if you want to know, you know, how to conjugate or learn how to conjugate different verbs, this is the book that it's a very good reference to do so. let's see another verb. So to close is adora, and then it has it in the different tenses. So I close a rude indicative preterit. Sugu hali lida garifuna. I close darutina. You close darutibu. He or she close daruti or daruto. We close darutiwa. You close darutio. They close darutia, and so on. So very detailed book in English, Garifuna, and Spanish. So if you're interested, this book is available on Amazon. So you can look up the title of the book or the author, and the author, and you can learn more. For this verb, aprendera, which is to learn, that verb is in here as well. So you can look that up, and learn. Other verbs that are also in the book is arija, which is to see. In Espanol, ver. So you can see how, arija is conjugated in Garifuna. Arija is conjugated in Garifuna. Another verb that's in the book is idera, which is to help. In Espanol, ayudar. Ida andite giwa, which is the indicative future, I will help. Ni deruba. You will help. Be deruba. He or she will help. Li deruba, ti deruba. We will help. We deruba. You will help. He deruba. They will help. He deruba. And so on. All right, so at the back there, which is, I think, is great. So if you're looking for a particular word or want to see, let me zoom in a little. So if you're looking, this is the index. Lida Garifuna Adügagülei. Of all the words that are included in the book, that are conjugated in the book, if you want to find it at a particular, page number, you can just look it up. For example, the word agamba, which is to hear, it's on page 158. So let's look up 158 to find that word. It will be probably near the middle of the book. 158. So on page 158 is the conjugation for the verb to hear, which is agamba. And of course, Lida, urwa, erero. You can see the different conjugation of agamba, Lida Garifuna. Right. So that's the index, which is very helpful. Next, of course, it's in English as well as Spanish, the index, so you can look it up in the same way. So this has been a review of the book by author Ruben Reyes. Serme Hong Soon, Agambatia Hamasoon, Eaha, Nguele Baretlo Magarian, Serme, Ayo.